Hi. Hey. Hi. It's me, your Void, and I'm doing this thing again. About a year ago, I made a video where I listed up 5+1 books that I thought would be 5-star reads for me, and then I completely ignored that video for about a year and didn't read a single book on that list that I gave, which then in turn led to me deciding on picking up all of these books at once and reading them in one go. There is a vlog about that coming out. Maybe it's already out. I don't know. What is time? Anyway, there is a 5-star prediction vlog where I just read all of the books that I put into my 5-star prediction video once upon a time. But that means I have 0 5-star predictions currently running on my channel, and I want to change that. So this is that. This is me listing another 5 books that I think have the potential for me to be a 5-star read. Now, if I have learned one thing while reading these 5-star books, is that authors can be deceiving, and you should not judge a whole work of an author by just reading one thing they published. I made that mistake again. And sequels are not necessarily the way to go with 5 stars. I will also make that mistake again. And there's another thing I learned when I was looking at my shelves to figure out, is this giving 5-star vibes? I am running out of books to read. I looked at my physical TBR and I was like, oh, wow, that is such a small amount of books for me to read. It's still a bunch of books that I need to read, but the number went down drastically this year, so wow. I just had that shocking realization. And the second realization I had when I realized I'm running out of books to read, I also don't have a single 5-star read on my shelves. When I look at my physical TBR, it's right behind you, I look at this and I don't see a book where I think 100% this might be a 5-star read. I have a bunch of books here where I think that's easy 4-star, blah, but there is not one book where I actually think this is going to be a 5-star read, which is sad. It not gonna lie, it sent me into a little spiral when I figured that out yesterday. But alas, I then went online and just perused the internet for some books, and I came up with a couple of books where I'm like, yeah, this has at least the building blocks to be a 5-star read, and that is what I'm going to give you today. I am not confident in this list at all, but I still want to make this video. I don't even know why exactly, but maybe me making this video is manifesting that these books are going to be 5 stars. And I mean, we can all do with more 5 stars, right? So this is it. This is me giving you 5 books that I hope are going to be 5 stars once I actually get around to reading them. Starting off with Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. Why is this on my 5-star prediction list? Well, first and foremost, it's gay. The biggest point is that I actually discovered that I kind of like romance books, that I actually like contemporary romance books, and Alexis Hall is one of the people who made me realize that. Not with a contemporary romance. Alexis Hall made me realize that I like romance when I read A Lady for a Duke, which is one of the 5 stars of 2025 for me. It was actually like the first 5-star, I believe? I don't know. Came out of the blue, and based on my experience with A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall, and the fact that I am apparently in my romance era, I think Boyfriend Material might be the way to go. It is a romance. It is written by an author that I liked very much, like, in terms of writing style and shit. And it's gay, so this should be a good pick for, like, a 5-star thing. Especially because I also very much enjoyed Red, White, and Royal Blue when I picked it up right after A Lady for a Duke. And that one is a gay contemporary romance, and I gave that 5 stars as well. So this should be 5 stars. Hopefully, fingers crossed. What is this about? That's a very good question. I don't really know. I think this has a fake dating trope going on because a rock star needs to dodge weird social media things. I don't really know what it's about. I just know it's by Alexis Hall and it's gay. And I've heard that the sequel Husband Material is not as good and kind of unnecessary. And I think they're making a movie out of it right now. The building blocks to making this a 5-star are definitely there. The next item on my list is that one thing where I say a sequel is not necessarily going to be a 5-star just because if the book before it was a 5-star. This is the rule break, because I am putting Angels and Men by Rafael Nicholás on this list, which is the sequel to Angels Before Men. And Angels Before Men is a book I am not talking about enough. It is one of the best books I have ever read, period. It is... I can't even really describe Angels Before Men. Angels Before Men is, if you boil it down, a retelling of Satan's life and then subsequent fall. It is somewhat a coming-of-age story, but the concept of time has not been invented yet. Quite literally, there are angels discussing the concept of time in this book and how they could implement it for the world. And it is basically taking Paradise Lost and makes it genderqueer, which is also amazing. The concept of time hasn't been invented yet, so of course the concept of gender also has not been invented yet, let alone the concept of sexuality. And that leads to some very interesting and gripping character relationships. And then by the end of the book, Satan basically invents sexuality. He invents orgies, actually, and blowjobs and shit. So that is kind of funny, I guess. But it's not funny. It's really not funny, because we are also in the Old Testament, meaning God is angry and vengeful and he is a monster. Read your trigger warnings before going into Angels Before Men. But oh my god, you should read that. It is so visceral in a way that I just never encountered anywhere else. I could gush about Angels Before Men so much, but I don't have the words to describe it in a way that would do it justice. So back to Angels and Men. Angels and Men is the continuation of this whole story, and now we have people. Humans have been made, and Angels and Men follows Satan and I think Michael, but now again during the time of like mankind, and I believe this one focuses on the flood. I could be wrong, but I think this one focuses on the story of the flood. Again, because Angels Before Men was such a visceral experience that I just, it's the best book I ever read on like a conceptual standpoint. It is deep. It is not just up there in the top 10, it's like there, and there is nothing that can kick it off of that throne. It's like one of those permanent fixtures that you don't even mention on top 10 lists, because it's just there, you know? So I am expecting great things from this. I have it for a hot second. I had it since it came out, because Rafael Nicholás is also a great person. You can get these books for free, basically. You can get the ebook for a pay what you want. So if literally all else fails, you can get it for free, because Rafael Nicholás wants to make the books as accessible as possible, and I think that is amazing. He's also an amazing human being, just from what you can see on social media. He also, like, he knows his Bible, he knows his history, so like this shit is not just good, it is accurate as well, and wow, I just love everything about it. And now I'm gushing about Angels Before Men again. This is about Angels and Men. This is book 2, and I had it for a hot second, but I'm scared to pick it up. I'm literally scared to pick it up because of what Angels Before Men did to me. So putting it on this list is me, A, manifesting it as a 5-star, and B, me actually forcing myself to read it because now it is out on the internet that I want to read it, and that is like some form of accountability, right? This time next year I have to have read it, or I will make another 5-star prediction reading vlog and I have to read it. So it's going to be read within the next 365 days. Period. I have no choice. The third thing I put on this list is one of those ambiguous ones. I saw it, and I don't feel confident in naming it a 5-star prediction, even though the building blocks are there. The building blocks being, it is a fully fleshed out fantasy novel, and I love me a good fantasy. We all know that. We are following a demon character, as far as I understood the blurb, which should be really funny and really fucked up, depending on where the story goes. And 3, It is written by one of my favorite authors, Martha Wells. I'm talking about The Witch King, which is a fantasy novel by Martha Wells. You know, the person who wrote the Murderbot Diaries. And I fell in love with the Murderbot Diaries in 2025. I very much enjoy Martha Wells' writing. And the blurb, it doesn't give much away, in my opinion, what is going on in the book. It's just that we follow Kai, and Kai was murdered and then locked away in like a weird prison. So I guess Kai is like this demon guy. And then he's like resurrected a lot later, and now he has to deal with what the world has become while also being himself. And I don't know. Some very weak wizard or something is trying to harness his powers, and he's like, nah, bitch. So I guess we go from there. But I am expecting impeccable world building and character voices that are so good that they seem like real people. Because that is what I got from the Murderbot Diaries. And given that we are following Kai, who is this demon person, I am also expecting humor akin to Murderbot, with like the whole jokes of like humans are stupid and I want to kill all of them. I'm purely basing this on the fact that I love the Murderbot Diaries so much. And again, I'm not confident it's going to be a 5-star, but I'm manifesting it! This next book has to be the most ambiguous pick on this list, just in general, because I have not read from the author before. I have no idea really what this is about. The blurb is not giving too much away. And the building blocks I'm basing my 5-star prediction on are not that strong. But I put it here anyway because, again, we are manifesting 5 stars in my life. I am talking about What Manner of Man by St. John Starling, I believe was the author's full name. As I just said, I don't know anything about this author, and I don't really know anything about this book other than it is a vampire who is lusting after a priest, and a priest who is discovering carnal desires and is apparently at one point faced with said vampire. That is all I know about this. Again, the building blocks for this they are basically non-existent. I'm literally just basing this 5-star prediction on the fact that I am a sucker for a good priest corruption story, and I love vampires. Vampires! And this one's queer. That's literally the 3 building blocks I have for this. Catholic guilt, queer, and vampires. I told you I'm reaching with this video. But I am manifesting. I'm manifesting 5 stars. Because if you think about it, vampires, Catholic guild, having it queer and being a romance should make this at least a book I enjoy. And I'm just manifesting it to be 5 stars at this point because I need more 5 stars in my life. And the last 5-star prediction I have for you is a stronger contender again, because the building blocks are actually existent. I am talking about A Lesson in Thorns by Sierra Simone. If you have been around the block of my channel for a hot second, you know that I love Sierra Simone, and A Lesson in Thorns is another series of hers. I fell in love with her work when I read Priest, and the love only deepened with Sinner and Sanguine, and I am about to read Saint, and I thought I would finish out the trilogy, but alas, it is not a trilogy. She announced the 4th book in this series, and you can bet your left ass cheek that I'm going to gobble that one up as well. But this one is a new series that has nothing to do with the Priest brothers, and in this one, this one actually has more hallmarks than the Priest series or whatever it's called, because not only does this deal with like some Catholic guilt-ish issues, because of course they do, this also is queer. It is a poly romance, and I love that. And it has a dark academia vibe to it, apparently. When I read the blurb for A Lesson in Thorns, I imagined the hunting trip all these rich people went on in You season 3, when they were all in that lodge, and then it turns into like a bitch fest, but also a murder mystery kind of. But so I imagined that. But instead of them all hating each other, they are just like a giant polycule. That is what I imagined, and my brain does not want to let go of that image. And I am very excited to figure out if I was right or not, and I really hope that's going to be a 5-star, because this is the strongest contender, in my opinion, of becoming a 5-star. Because I have read multiple books by Sierra Simone. All of them I liked very, very much. The stuff I already like of Sierra Simone's work is enhanced by putting in more stuff that I like. So it should actually be better, right? What is Lesson in Thorns about? Again, really, really good question. I don't know. I know the main character is returning home. I can't remember where home is, but it's like one of those stories where she left to have an actual life and then she comes back and old relationships are fucking with everything. And there are a bunch of rich assholes just around. I literally don't know. I had this on my TBR for like 100 years at this point and I don't know what it's about. I just remember a Instagram post by Sierra Simone where it's like dark academia, poly-romance, blood. I've been doing YouTube for over 2 years at this point. I should know to read the blurb before filming a video. Yet here we are. But yeah, there you have it. Pretend I'm holding up a stack of books because all of these books are ebooks in my possession. These are the 5 books that I think are going to be 5 stars, or I'm manifesting them to be 5 stars, and maybe I actually managed to put them on TBRs in the coming years instead of having to crunch them all into a single vlog. Because if I have to put all of these into a single vlog, I think my brain will melt. Subtle foreshadowing for the 5-star prediction vlog. But that's it for this video. If you made it this far into the video, let me know what your 5-star predictions are, if you have read any of the books that I mentioned and they are horrible, horrible choices to put on the 5-star prediction video list. I don't know. If you don't want to talk to me, but you still made it to the end of this video, leave a star emoji, be it the like shooting star, just a star, the sparkle emoji, leave anything that has a star in it down in the comments so I know that you made it all the way through this weird, chaotic list shit show thing I filmed. And yeah, I guess I will see you in the next video. Bye.